On today's episode, are Nintendo products too expensive? Should we be paying more for this brand that we've loved ever since we were children? Let's talk about it today on the Team Attack Show. Alright, so here's the thing. You love Nintendo, probably. I love Nintendo. Nintendo is one of the most storied brands in all of video game history. Anybody who plays video games knows what Nintendo is, knows their legacy, knows what they're about. That's all well and good, sure. But I draw the line at a couple things. But before we get into that, let's talk about how cool Nintendo is. You know, they've had some of the greatest franchises ever. Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, although they forget about that a lot. I wish they cared more about Samus Aran. Anyway, lots of Mario, lots of Zelda, lots of Pokemon. You know, like, who doesn't like Nintendo? Everybody on some level has probably played a Nintendo game in their life. Sure, whatever. My problem is the games, they're too expensive. And I'm not saying that $60 is an expensive price point. I'm saying when that $60 lasts 3 years from the release date. I remember buying Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, when it came out on Switch. One of the launch titles, one of the best Zelda games I have ever played. I put over 150 hours into that game. I still haven't found all the Koroks, but, that game has gotten a lot of my time, and it's gotten a lot of time of a lot of other players. But what if you are somebody who has a bad money situation, you can't get games on release, it's whatever. So you say to yourself, I'm going to wait a couple of years, I'm sure the game will be on discount. Maybe like $10, $15 less. Sure, right? Wrong. Games, Mario Kart, Zelda, Super Smash Brothers have been known to be full price for more than a year or two after their release. But why is that? Why can Nintendo get away with this same price business when other companies, other studios, discount their games sometimes 6 or 12 months after release? Is it Nintendo's lasting power in the industry as a AAA brand? Probably. Is it the quality of the games are higher than other games that you might be playing? I don't know about that. Let's be honest, Nintendo games are good, but there are also games from other companies, other console makers that are, in terms of quality, set a very, very high bar, but like all other people in the market, after a certain amount of time to keep sales going, they'll keep those prices down. It'll be like a 50% off sale, 5, 10, 15, whatever. Maybe there'll be a bundle at Christmas time. I think the only time that you can actually get a bundle off Nintendo stuff is if it's bundled in some sort of package. Like if you buy a Switch, you could get Fortnite, which doesn't make sense because the game is free to play. I've seen Mario Kart bundles, bundles with other games, and so you might be getting the game for a little bit of a discount. But if you are buying the game a la carte, you will be paying that full price penalty several months after the game comes out, especially if it's a first party title. And this is only with Nintendo stuff. I don't know what it is. Now, as we all know, the Switch was flying off shelves for the first couple of years. It was very hard to get a Switch if you weren't one of the first people online. And with the rise of digital entertainment becoming the norm, rest in peace GameStop, it's probably becoming harder for Nintendo as a company to justify taking any money off of its first-party titles. I mean, if it sells the game digitally, it's going to get 100% of that money. There's no middleman. There's nobody taking anything off the top or anything like that. So why not? Well, the answer is probably as simple as people keep paying full price for these things. Like, if people are going to pay $60 for Mario Odyssey, and that game came out, way, way, way long time ago, like I can't even consider it a new platforming game anymore, then why not? It's only going to be until people stop buying it at that price that it's going to dip down. I mean, that's simple supply and demand, simple economics. And I didn't go to school for economics. I did awful in economics. I hate business. But, that's the nature of the market. That's how things are going to be. And it sucks as a consumer, especially if you're trying to buy physical product and that physical product is limited. That's going to artificially jack up the price also because, how many copies are there of Super Smash Bros. Melee or, original copies of some old old RPG that wasn't ever released in Japan or something like that. That's how crazy it is with Nintendo stuff. And their brand and their influence is everywhere. You know, storefronts, fashion. It's just ridiculous, the hold that they have. And, you know, people do think that there is a elevated brand. It's almost like, I want to say maybe they're all right, there is a fashion, you know, fashion stuff like Gucci, Fendi, Prada, you know, people are going to pay top dollar for those things. It's a status thing. Is Nintendo the same deal in the gaming industry? I mean, they release first-person shooters. They release games with whimsical art styles. I don't think it's on a different pedestal as everybody else, but they think that they are. So if they're going to be able to get away with these ridiculous prices, then all the power to them. I can't fault them. It's just frustrating as a consumer to, you know, find yourself in this market where there are a bunch of games that are on discount that you can get in. It's even harder to trade with. It's even hard right now. It's even harder right now to trade with people because of the rampant digital spectrum. I mean, I'm a digital only player. I don't borrow physical copies of games. Well, except maybe God of War that my friends gave to me. I still haven't played this, but I'm going to get to it eventually. In any case, do you feel Nintendo games are too expensive? Do you feel that they need to go down in price along with other people on the market? I mean, they're a great company. I love them, but, you know, Sony, Xbox, all these independent game studios, they follow the market. Why doesn't Nintendo? Why can Nintendo get away with this? So I'm curious to know what you guys think in the comments. You know, I'm still going to buy Nintendo stuff. I've got my Joy-Con set up. You know, these Joy-Cons are $70, $80. They are not cheap technology. I mean, the technology is amazing, but they are not cheap controllers. And there are people who collect these. I'm curious to know what you think. So, Nintendo, please reduce the prices on your stuff like a year after it comes out. There's no need for Zelda to be full price 2 years after it came out. Just, there's no reason. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll come back with another video. I hope to see you there. Until then, have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you next time.